Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Renegade Butcher Show. As you know, I am Josh, the Renegade Butcher. Here I am again, public park in the car, doing my thing. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you all here once again. I was on a podcast this morning. I was interviewed on the Holstein House podcast with Robin Holstein, who's actually, I see down here in the chat. So thank you again for having me on your show. And I linked that show in the chat here. So if anybody's interested, go ahead and pull that up and check it out. We're here at episode 31. This week, I don't have anybody on the show and no particular topic, mainly just an update, catching up with you guys, letting you know what's going on in my world and kind of getting some feedback from the audience. So we're going to update you in a few minutes here with that brand new spice video that I've been putting out. It'll be the third one. We're going to work on garlic this week. Pounded that out today in between some other stuff while I had the smoker going, and got it uploaded here just a little bit before the show. So had a good episode this morning, though, a good interview with Robin. We sat down and chatted for a while. She's coming from the perspective of somebody who is running an Airbnb and isn't trying to process their own animals so much, but they're looking at learning more about meat. So we talked a little bit about different cuts, different ways you can take larger retail cuts, break them down, stuff like that. We talked a little bit about the food system, about food freedom and how it all relates, and government and all that fun stuff too. So you can catch that and her perspective and mine on it, and just bullshitted back and forth. You'll find her in the community quite often. She's usually hanging out in Telegram. If you're not in Telegram, check it out at t.me/libertymeatchat. That's t.me/libertymeatchat. Great place to hang out. Hey, Kyle, I see he made it down there in the chat as well. Kyle, another great community member, been on the show twice now, so he's in that chat every morning. And if you're not in that chat, you should check it out, because we post the daily audio questions up there, the meeting of the minds, where we talk about all kinds of stuff, get discussion spurred. And it's usually a pretty good little chat in the morning right after we finish up with Brian Alexovich's show over at the Lots Project, too. I'm sure he'll be in the chat anytime now, causing all kinds of shit, just like I do in his every morning while we sit around and have coffee. So, but hey, enough of that. We'll circle back to all this stuff. Let me get that spice video up here for y'all. I know y'all have been waiting. We've done salt, we've done pepper. What's next? It's got to be garlic. So here we go without further ado. Maybe. Wrong slide. Hey there, spice lovers. Let's talk about garlic. Yeah, let's spice up our life with some knowledge. Garlic, or Allium sativa, is like other members of the allium family. Like its cousin, the onion, it has a strong scent. Some compare it to the smell of a skunk. I don't particularly think so. But it has a bulb that contains many cloves that you can peel apart and chop, crush, or use in a lot of different ways. Just be careful, because garlic can make your breath stink and your eyes water. You may need a mint after eating some of that. It's actually a vegetable, but don't let that fool you. It's not boring like broccoli or lettuce. It's a super vegetable with superpowers. Garlic comes in many different varieties, most commonly hardneck and softneck, with lots of different types of each. There's also elephant garlic, which is a different species that's more mild. Garlic has been used by humans for millennia. It's been a friend to us all throughout the world, and it's even found its way into folklore. But it's typically used for cooking and healing. Some of the earliest records of garlic use date back to ancient Egypt, China, India, and Greece. The ancient Egyptians used garlic to feed their slaves and mummify their pharaohs. They believed that garlic gave them strength and endurance. The ancient Greeks used garlic to cure everything from leprosy to bad hair days. The early physician Hippocrates used garlic to treat parasites, as a laxative, and as a diuretic. The ancient Romans used garlic as food and medicine. They used it to treat tuberculosis, fever, and other diseases. They even rubbed it on their bodies to protect themselves against snake bites. Don't try that one at home. Garlic is so good for you because it has a chemical called allicin. Allicin is what gives it its strong smell and taste. It also makes it a natural antibiotic, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antioxidant, and blood thinner. It can help lower your cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, and boost your immune system. It can also help keep away mosquitoes and maybe some people. But it's been used as a food preservative for a long time because it helps reduce the bacterial load in meat. You can also use garlic in many ways as an herbal remedy. You can eat raw garlic cloves if you're brave enough, or take garlic pills if you're not. You can also apply crushed garlic on wounds or infections to help kill germs. You can make your own garlic oil by soaking peeled garlic cloves in olive oil for a few days. Garlic is probably one of the most common, well-used spices all around the world, so there's no time for me to tell you about all the dishes that you could use it in. In modern times, it's common in garlic bread, soups, on chicken, all kinds of meat, shrimp, mashed potatoes, you name it. Add garlic to it, it'll make it more delicious. I wish there was time to cover all the different ways we could use garlic in this video, but be sure to let me know your favorites. You can find a million recipes online. Thanks for watching this episode of Season for Freedom, and hope that you have fun learning about this wonderful spice. If you like this, be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget to follow for next week's. All right, there it is, folks. Well, hey, said way too many times, but you know, these videos are good practice for me to kind of hone my skills and everything there. And sure enough, there it is. There is Brian from the Lots Project. What's up, guys? Hey, you know, I usually they're over there lighting me up on TikTok, and I was going to go on TikTok live right before this. Weirdly, last week, live with Brian from the Lots Project. If you didn't check that one out, be sure to. It's a good old time. We sat around. There's a little bit of beer flowing. We hung out, but kind of a wrap up from the season. So that is a good one to circle back and check out. Great community member, good friend of mine, and we had a good old time. But apparently we were a little bit too hot for the TikTok because somebody reported it for hateful behavior or hateful speech. I don't know what some joke somebody must have taken wrong. That's fine. I appealed, and supposedly my live access that was revoked for like a week and an hour, so it would have been right after the podcast here, supposedly was given back. But then when I tried to go live, I usually go live a little bit before I go on YouTube. Didn't work. Came up and said, had no reason, just said for hateful behavior. And the offense apparently happened back in January of 1969, which is actually before I was born. So, man, apparently I figured out how to time travel and break rules for social media platforms that existed long before the internet. Man, I'm a butcher, not a magician. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but hopefully we'll shoot for the TikTok live as well next week. Best I can do, folks. Anyways, hope you like those spice videos. If you have some feedback on them, let me know. If you want me to do a certain seasoning, be sure to check it out and shoot me a message. TikTok's a great place to find those. I also post my daily questions up there on TikTok. Gets a lot of good interaction. That's growing really quick. I'm up over 2,500 followers, and it's almost as busy as Telegram. So that's where I've been focusing most of my energy, Telegram and TikTok. So both good places to find me. Anyways, I've been trying to wrap up the deer stuff. Brian and Corey over at the Lots Project, they're getting ready to head up out of the state too. So they're bouncing around trying to make sure we get all of their packages and everything to them. Last couple of meetups before they're gone for who knows how long. It may be close to a year till I see him again. So going to go over tomorrow and hang out with him and maybe some other community members if we can kind of get everybody there and make it all happen. And I'm cooking up some pulled pork to take over there as well. So there's been some pork butts on sale lately, local. Today, I think, is the last day for the sale. I'll probably pick up a few more tonight on my way back home just to be sure I can get them. You don't usually get them for 88 cents a pound much. And when I'm in need of lots of extra pork to add for deer sausage, it's kind of a windfall. So took one of those, smoked it today, letting it finish out in the crock pot overnight. And that should be some good fixins for tomorrow. And I'm sure way more than any of us are going to eat 10 pounds of pork for like 4 or 5 people. Anyways, but involved in all that process was some of my seasoning blends, which I should highlight and talk about there. Let's see. I have been, as you guys know, I've been working with a bunch of different oddball seasonings, sausage seasonings, things like that. And I offered some just fun stuff that I did a few months back. I did that bonfire blend where I took a bunch of different vegetables and salts and whatnot and smoked them and roasted them, blended it up, added a few things, kind of tweaked it, and made a small batch seasoning. I can't do that on scale because the recipe is never going to be the same each time. And it's hard enough to find smoke salt at an affordable price in bulk or whatnot. If I'm trying to actually blend that and do it in large quantities, I don't even know if the new smoker I'm building will be big enough to accommodate the volume that I might be looking at. So I'm trying to keep that small and exclusive. So as the Seasoning of the Month Club comes out, which should be very, very soon as I get more internet time here, that will be one of the bonuses. So when you sign up, if you are a part of the Seasoning of the Month Club, you will be getting one package of some single small batch blend that you will never get again as part of that. You could ask Corey over there from the Lots Project that what happened to the car. Brian down here says, StreamYard has a blur effect apparently for a background. And I just decided to try it on a whim, see if I liked it or not. It's kind of weird, but I threw it up there. But anyway, you could ask Corey over there from the Lots Project. She was very upset when she ran out of the bonfire blend that I gave them. And luckily I had one reserve. And I went ahead and gave that to them, let them have it on the road because I can always make more seasoning, and they enjoyed that. So, but I am trying to make more things that are like that. Every blend is going to be a little bit different though, and it's not going to be the same ingredients every month. I'll be changing it up. So I have something in the works right now for this month. It's not really launched with the Seasoning of the Month for sure yet, but it's I've got like I think 3 extra packages that are unclaimed. We had, oh, hey, Rachel Brown, glad to meet you there. Glad you made it. Glad to meet you. Wow. You were over there watching, the live. That's cool. I didn't know they were on live. Awesome. Make sure we check that replay. Anyway, wow. Brian says that the background out here is gay. Well, it's not because you're not here, bud. Sorry. Oh, yeah. What are you going to do with him? Anyways. So that Spice of the Month Club should be rolling out soon, but I have I called it a Summer Sun Blend, which is more citrus worked into it. I like it. It's a little bit spicier. And I have 3 packets of that left. They're 4-ounce packets this time instead of the 2-ounce glass shaker bottles. So they package a little bit easier. They ship a little bit easier. You get twice as much. And I think my goal for the Seasoning of the Month Club will be to have an offering of basic seasonings, maybe half dozen or so eventually. We'll expand that. You can subscribe to get 1 or 2 of whatever you want on a recurring basis that you can refill those shaker jars. And I'm sure I'll be able to offer those shaker jars too if somebody wants them. It's just a lot easier to ship the same amount of seasoning with less glass in the USPS. So I have 3 of those still left. If anybody's interested, let me know. I may do like I did with the bonfire blend and throw it up there and we have a little bid war. I just have not focused on that. If you like stuff like that and you want to be the first to hear about it, well, be sure you're in the Telegram group because that's usually where that shit goes down. So if you're in the Telegram group, be sure you have notifications on and be sure that you join in. That's t.me/libertymeatchat. Anyways, what I was working on the other day, just for a little bit of fun, while I've been smoking some of that stuff, including that pork butt today. Look at this. Look at all these veggies I have laid out on this tray. This is the kind of stuff that I'll do when I'm doing these handcrafted unique blends. And it's mostly just fun. It's kind of a labor of love type thing. There's not a lot that can come out of something like this. This would be the basis of it. But you can see we've got some serrano peppers, tomatoes, multiple different kinds of onions, salt, and whatnot. And these were all smoked. They're actually getting smoked at least 2 times, maybe 3. And then everything dried out and worked into a seasoning blend. So those things, they turn out really, really well. I have another one that I'm working on too that may be out a little bit. I know that Brian and them were trying that tonight, and it's got pork bouillon base. So lots of fun stuff. If there is anything specific or special, hold on, let me flip this over here, that you'd like to try or you're interested in, let me know. This is that Summer Sun Blend. I've got 3 of these left, folks, so be sure to let me know. Hit me up on Telegram or in messages or whatnot after if you're interested in that, and give me a good offer. 3 highest offers. We'll get them shipped out to you directly to your door. I've got a bunch of these things ready right now. I made up some more of that Rooster Dust seasoning. I've got mild and hot available, as well as a few of those Summer Sun blends. And I am going to be blending up some more of that sugar-free, that stevia sweet pan sausage seasoning. That's got some good reviews on that initial test batch, and I've been having people asking. So it's time to get another batch blended up. I've had some requests for some other custom stuff too. So let me know what you need. Let's see what we got going on over here in the comments. Brian says, make it rainbow. I probably could find a way to make it rainbow in the background, but I'm not going to try to mess with it right now. Rachel Brown says, I'm a doofus. She's right. Brian says, the blends are fire. Well, depending on the spicy ones, probably are. And oh yeah, she says she's going to mix up some of that sausage and share it at work. And yeah, for sure, share it around. What you got should be enough to make 10 pounds. So give it a try. And let me know what you think about it. For sure, give me feedback on that. That's kind of a new thing for me. That's new territory. So I think it worked well. Everybody's seeming to like it. And she liked the rooster dust on shrimp too. I really did like it on shrimp myself. I didn't expect to use it on shrimp. I made it up to put on chicken wings. That idea kind of came up back during the old Wingtober. The Wingtober. Why I still can't eat chicken wings. Maybe I'll stomach some chicken wings again by October. We'll see. But I'll tell you what, I ate a lot of chicken wings. However, that helped a lot. That right on there in the air fryer. There we go. And Kyle over there too. Let's see. Oh, yep. Brian got sent to HR when he shared his sausage at work. Well, are you talking about working with me? Because I am HR. Oh, never mind. Anyway. Kyle said he needs to try that breakfast sausage seasoning, and I sent him some of the regular. He's got the full octane version, not the unsweet. But that is another thing. Oh yeah, and he's sending me some bear lard to try. That's awesome because we don't really have bear in Texas. I mean, we pretty much wiped them out long ago. So should be interesting to try. But yeah, check that breakfast sausage seasoning out. And if you'd like it, let me know. I should hopefully be able to bring the price down on that soon, quite a bit soon. That's the goal, at least. I finally have been making some progress with the local spice company on getting my recipe blended in large batches. It won't be the sugar-free version. It'll be the full version. I've got a sample back from them. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. They sent me an almost 5-pound sample batch, so it'll make a ton of it. I have yet to make any of it up yet to actually try. I got bogged down with some other projects on the weekend. So probably tomorrow, Thursday, somewhere in that neighborhood, next time I've got the grinder really running, I'm going to probably make up a 5-10 pound batch of that with their blend, compare it to mine, make sure it all passes muster. And if it's good to go and I don't have any adjustments for them to make, we're going to talk numbers. And I'm sure that it's going to be substantially less to get it made through them. However, I'm going to have to do bulk amounts. So I do have at least one butcher that's interested in buying a fairly large buy of it. So if there's anybody else listening who is a butcher or who makes a lot of sausage and is just interested, or you have friends that do, let me know. I'll try to get you the best price I possibly can on a bulk buy, because I would like to fund the initial big batch and get that rolling and use that to kind of keep the train going. So let's get this going, get in on the ground floor, folks. Anyways, let's see what else. Hey, Kyle says he is a butcher. I didn't know Kyle. That's awesome. No, if you guys don't know, Kyle is a butcher out in New Hampshire, and he was on the podcast episode before last and 2 episodes before that as well. He's been on here. A really cool guy. I love having him in the community because if he's around and I'm around, well, between the two of us, usually we kind of know what's going on if someone has a question, or if one of us isn't around, somebody can pop in and give some ideas. And actually that happened this last weekend, I believe. We had a new community member popped in, Clark, and he was dealing with processing some sheep. He'd never done it before. He'd done some deer, but no experience with sheep. So we were able to give him some feedback and work him through that little scenario. And the second one went a lot better for him. So it's always good to have community. And that's what we're here for, folks. That's the whole point of the Liberty Meat Chat, this whole community. And it's always growing. We've had people coming in TikTok. We've had people come in that have just found the podcast. And that seems to be the hub. It's where everybody kind of just shows up, hangs out, and talks. So if you're not over there, you're wrong. Let's see here. Yeah, Kyle says people just can't get enough of him. And Kyle really loves sheep. He really loves them. And I will just say, take that how you will. Take that how you will. Brian wants to know how much mustard
and that I should raise the price. Well, I'll take all the mustard that you can give me. That's going to have to be the answer, I guess. So, oh, and Rachel Brown says that yes, the same on the wings, but she beat me. However, it was pretty much a running between the two of us. We were the top two who never had a mulligan, never missed a day, never had to pussy out on the whole competition of how many wings, minimum 5 wings a day every day in October. And yeah, we had pretty much agreed at the end of it that I had beat her by a few wings. And then she came back a few months later and said that she did a recount and that I was wrong. I feel that needs to be independently validated, but you know what? It's just chicken wings. So, not the end of the day. Oh, Lordy here. Yeah, between the two of us, we might know some, Rachel. You're right. There, between the two butchers, there may be some knowledge in the group. But if you do have questions on meat, that's why we're around, and we have everybody in there for people who have no idea what they're doing. They're brand new. They're just interested. To folks who have substantial experience under their belt in one way or the other, and even stuff that us butchers aren't experienced with. Like if you want to know about raising rabbits, we've got people in the group that raise rabbits and used to do it professionally and process and butcher their own. So there's a pretty broad spectrum in there, and that's been the whole goal the whole time. When I started it up, just with the idea of it being aimed towards consulting, not aiming so much towards the social media and everything. That was the goal. So I like seeing it kind of come around that way and combine the social media aspect with it. I guess modern times, social media kind of is how we all communicate and do that outreach. It's sort of the best medium for it. So with that, yeah, I guess let's see here. Let me make sure that I haven't missed anything else. If anybody's got any questions or ideas that they want to throw out there, something that is tearing them up, let me know. Let's see. The spice is vital to space travel. That's great. What is that quote from? I remember seeing that, and I'm trying to quite place it. But, anyways, yeah. So, what have you guys been up to? Let me know in the comments. Let me know over there in the Telegram group, and check it out here. And oh yeah, Rachel says she is still working on her knife skills, but she's holding her own on poultry and rabbit. Oh yes, okay, yeah. Robin Holsey says Dune. That's right, Dune. Okay. Now I don't feel I feel dumb, but I don't feel as dumb. At least I have seen it. So, but yeah, she's still working on the poultry and rabbit. But that's the thing. Knife skills come with time. It takes practice. It's not like somebody's just born a butcher. Like they just know how to do it. I had a little bit of knife skills before I got into cutting meat from several different areas, but a lot of it translates over. It's still very different. Cutting produce or knowing how to use a knife in a martial art is not the same thing as knowing how to cut meat and cut meat properly. So learn from other people, but you still have to put the time in. All right, here. Oh, yep. Rachel nailed it. That apparently Robin is the greater nerd. She wins the nerd off, at least when it comes to Dune. So that would be a good evening one of these times. Get everybody on somebody's podcast, all the nerdy people, and let's have a nerd off. See who wins. We would need somebody who's a judge. I'm sure we could find a few people to be contenders in there. Maybe it could be just ham radio operators only. Let's have a full nerd off. Let's see. Kyle says that. Oh, you should see your 4-year-old handle a knife. Yes, but they've also had a butcher for a dad their entire life. So, I mean, that's a little bit of an unfair advantage, I'd say. And yeah, just don't stab yourself. Ask me how I know. Yeah. And I'm not even just talking about the infamous sword incident. I've stabbed myself plenty of times while cutting meat. I've stabbed myself a few times while not cutting meat. So it's a hazard of the job, and we all do make mistakes. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with deadly tools, those mistakes can be really, really risky. So I can't stress enough, be careful. Robin says she blames the first husband for being such a sci-fi nerd. I've always been a little bit of a nerd too, but I guess is it nerd or geek? I think it's more geek. It's the pop culture science fiction sort of focus. I forget where they draw the lines there, but yeah, it just depends. I've been very distant from the television and all the entertainment stuff, especially in recent years. Just spent less time on it, and so much of that just kind of fades away. Tim for the judge, Rachel says, yeah, but you know what? Tim could probably compete in that nerd off too, just depending on the category. I mean, and if we want to combine the nerd and the geek, boy, Tim's got the pop culture knowledge going for him. He's all about those movies and music. So, oh yes, Kyle says we all know how I know. Yeah. There's video evidence of some of that. Still say nerd. Yeah. I think it is all still nerd. That's fine. I remember there used to be, at least maybe it was just when I was younger. Maybe it was a generational thing. Maybe that's changed. But there was nerd, geek, and dork all had different definitions. I don't really think any of that freaking matters. So, oh man. So, anyways, here. Oh wait. Yep. Here we go. Aren't geeks in the tech sector and nerds in the gaming books, comic books? You might be right. And she may actually be out nerding me about nerds right now. It's entirely possible, and that just might be due to more experience in the nerd field. I don't know. I grew up pretty nerdy. I was the homeschooler who got into ham radio, had nothing to do but read books, and grew up on the internet. So I was kind of a lost cause from the get-go. You know, cutting meat is probably the least nerdy thing I've ever done in my life. And that's including martial arts, because I was in one of the nerdiest martial arts you could be in. So yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna go. I'm gonna go over and hang out with Brian and Corey again, and make sure they get their last packages that I've been receiving their mail, and chill with them for a bit. So that'll be another good evening. So. And thankfully, I was able to kind of clear my schedule, clear the evening, and make sure that if I need to hang out a little bit longer, I don't have anything that I need to rush back for. So should be good. But like I said, if you missed last week's and you got some time, or you're just sitting around having a couple of drinks and you want to feel like you're hanging out around the bonfire with a couple of rednecks, that's a good one to check out too. So. And if you have any requests as far as the spice seasoning goes, or you have any kind of questions, be sure to check us out over on Telegram. And hey, I need some feedback from y'all of what do I do for the next spice, for the next Season for Freedom series of seasoning videos. We've covered salt, we've covered pepper, black pepper, like peppercorns, and we covered garlic. So I could roll right into like other peppers, like capsicum peppers, like jalapenos, red pepper, stuff like that. Or I could get kind of wild with it. So let's kind of pull the audience, see what comes up. And there we go. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Rachel Brown says, all hail Robin. Apparently she is the queen nerd, so she has been crowned that by Rachel over here. Kyle says his wife calls him a meat nerd. Yeah, I would say I qualified as a meat nerd too. That tends to be what separates butchers from just the lazy meat cutters, the guys who actually take the time to go and research and learn all the ins and outs and just geek out over it. Yeah, totally me. Always have been obsessed with all the details. Let's see here. Yep, the kind where you stab yourself. Kyle the meat nerd, yes. And a steak spice. Yes. Okay. So are you asking for a steak spice as far as the next video, or you're requesting that as something for me to release and put out? So that has actually been one as a shaker spice that I have really been thinking about which direction I want to go with it. There's a few different angles I could take, but maybe I'll do a couple different blends. I like to spice my steaks differently at different times to try to do different things, but I can tell you that rooster dust doesn't go too bad on a steak as it is right now. But I have been thinking about a dedicated, more heavy on the savory steak spice. So, yeah, that is going to be in the works. Let's see here. Something with green apples. You may have to follow up with more on that one about what you were referring to. We're talking about green apples when it comes to, well, it could be interesting. All right, here. Snapper spice. Is that a Spice Girl? I'm not sure. I didn't know all their names. Maybe I need to get the Spice Girls to sponsor me. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll have lots of luck with that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kyle says he's putting Robin's podcast on after that. Good, you should. It was a good little chat this morning. We went a little bit over an hour and just kind of hung out and talked. So she's got a good podcast over there. I was surprised. She's got far more episodes than me. I'm up to episode 31, and she's up to 45. But I believe she does what 2 or 3 a week. So that helps a lot. I was really bad last year about hardly doing it at all. Thankfully, this year I've stayed on my goal of getting one every week done, and I plan to keep doing that. So. Yes, there we go. Green apple. Oh, well, yeah, a variety of ways to do steak. That would be good. I think maybe a couple of different steak seasonings, maybe something a little bit spicier, something a little bit less. I really like things like thyme and rosemary on my steaks. Some people aren't real big on the rosemary when it comes to the steak, so I could probably go a few different ways there. And I'm thinking about a Cajun blend as well. That seems to be really, really popular right now. Old Scrambling is over there. Hey, and yes, by the way, I forgot. I put that up in the chat. If you scroll all the way back up in the comments, we were talking coffee the other morning, and old Brian Norton here, Scrambling, is my coffee guy. And he custom roasts, air roasts, some of the best coffee in the world that he sources directly himself and does it all up there in Seattle. I get a shipment from him every month, and he is my caffeine dealer. So if you are drinking shitty coffee, or you want to drink better coffee, or you just don't know where to get good coffee, don't let the price point dissuade you. If you crunch the numbers on it, it's cheaper than buying coffee at the corner gas station. I spend less than $1.50 a day on my coffee. It's under 50 cents a cup. It's good shit. Anyways, I told him to come into my group, plug his stuff, and he put up a discount up there. So you can actually get a hell of a deal. If you're interested, try it out. You can try his Brian's blend, which is one of the best blends that I've had. And he'll send you a bunch of samples of different beans so you can kind of tell what you do and don't like, and you can dial it in, custom roast it to your preferences. Apparently, if you include Liberty Meat in the comments, well, he'll hook me up with a little bit extra coffee too. So, hey, help a butcher out, keep me awake. Go check it out. And if you don't like it, you can come bitch at me. But anyway, comments are up above, or they're on Telegram, and I pinned that. So let's see here. Robin Holstein, green apple flavor. Apples and porks go well, right? Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I never thought about doing green apple in a spice on pork. So I'll have to experiment a little bit with that and see how much the flavor carries over when the apples are dried. I don't want to just put them in there and have it kind of go blank. Depends. It may be just something I have to dehydrate and to do on low heat, but that's fun. I like playing with stuff like that and trying new stuff. So there we go. He said it didn't ring him. I guess make sure you've got the bell checked or whatnot. I have that problem on YouTube sometimes too. I just don't always get the notifications. Sometimes it it doesn't unsubscribe me, but it changes my notices. So who knows? But I try to announce it on Telegram and everything earlier in the day. So I need to get better about, I didn't do it this time, announcing it on Telegram shortly before. So there we go. Kyle says Tony Sacheries. That's a great Cajun seasoning. I actually do use that quite a bit myself. I might do something in the lines with that. I don't want to just do a rip-off copycat, but, something in that genre for sure. Josh said a naughty word. I'm not even sure what I fucking said, but hey, on Robin's podcast, yeah, I did drop an F-bomb, and that's to be expected. Actually, we were both surprised it took me as long as it did. So, and then let's see here. Oh, it was 2. It was 2. Yeah. You're right. It was late in the show. Well, we made sure I said it late enough that when Robin does manage to get her podcast monetized, it's not in the first 8 seconds. So there we go. And yes, Scramble says, yeah, loyalty pays. For sure. And I like to support community members. And I'm not going to push somebody's product like that or service unless it's something that I actually have faith in. And I can tell you right now, for damn near a year, that's been my coffee guy. I don't buy any other coffee. That's it. It's exclusive. So, and everybody else who's tried it, yeah, same thing. People who don't like coffee like his coffee. So check it out. And yep, Rachel Brown says the same thing. She's not been drinking coffee lately, but he is the coffee dealer. So that is a great idea. Espresso seared steak. I actually really, I thought about doing some sort of blend, either a steak seasoning or more like a brisket rub. that included a coffee, and I was going to hit you up with that at some point and make sure that we get some good coffee involved in that. If I do that, I have used some coffee in brisket rubs before, and it does turn out pretty good. You don't want to use a ton of it. You don't want it to overshadow the other seasonings. But man, it's interesting. So, and yeah, Rachel says that sounds good as well. Kyle says his sister lives in New Orleans, and brings up a bunch for Christmas. Tony says, "Oh man, I guess I take it for granted. We have it on the shelves everywhere down here. Every grocery store, Walmart, everybody carries it. A good friend of mine drives a truck over the road, and they're all over the country. And she goes to, where is it? Just over in Louisiana, where their headquarters had to deliver something to them one time. Was super excited because you got to go in. They have a gift shop and everything. Walked in, nerded out, had to buy the T-shirt and all the fun stuff like that. It's kind of a phenomenon down here. But of course, they've got you get down here. There's competition when it comes to the Cajun spice. That's kind of the golden standard. But then you got Slap Your Mama and all kinds of stuff like that. So you get us Southern spice people. It's always some goofy, over the top character, if you haven't noticed. But Renegade Butcher should come out with a Cajun spice seasoning, because I do enough cooking for Cajuns. Funny enough, that was a TikTok I made the other day. And what was it? That was somebody posted something stupid, like, what's a weird flex in your world? And so I stitched it as a joke, and I was just like, hey, I grew up in Illinois, but I cook for Texans and Cajuns, and they like my shit, and they buy seasoning from me. And that blew the hell up. Like, it's been thousands of views, and I've gotten a shitload of followers from it just for half joking brag. So what do you know? People apparently like that shit on social media. So, but if you're not over on TikTok, or if you are on TikTok and you're not following me, you should be. I like my channel. If I didn't like my channel, I'd close it down. If you're not on TikTok and you're not scared of the Chinese Communist Party or whatever excuses people have for not wanting to use it, go pop over there and check the shit out. It's fun. But I have been posting it on YouTube too. If you're on YouTube and you want to keep up with the Season for Freedom series, I have those all set in a playlist as well, and I have that most recent one uploaded. And it's also in the Telegram chat. So if you really don't want to mess with any of those, Telegram's the place to be. Well, we're at a little over a half an hour, and I think that's about all of the big updates that I've got at the moment, unless there's something that I'm not thinking of. So if anybody's got any questions, thoughts, ideas, insults, whatever, toss them over in the comments before I wrap all this up. But I want to thank you all for hanging out, and I wouldn't still be doing this podcast if it wasn't for y'all, if we didn't have this awesome community and all this involvement. And it's brought some great people into the fold, into the this whole community right now as it is. So hey, I don't usually talk about it as much on this show. I'm not averse to it, but we usually focused on Lightning for Liberty while we were really cranking away at that. But if you guys haven't noticed, apparently the banks aren't doing so well, and the old government's taking over them. I got a feeling that we're starting to find reasons to really get this CBDC, central bank digital currency thing going. They're trying really hard to not get people so scared to do a bank run, but they're working to shake people's confidence. It's all over the media and everything right now. I try to ignore most of the shit, but I can tell you I've never been more confident in my decision to not keep a lot of money in the banks, either have it in cash or, stuff like crypto is not a bad thing if you pick the right one. Bitcoin, put your shit in Bitcoin. And the best way to do that is with a Fold card. Holler at me, and I will get you a referral link if you're not using that. If you have the Fold card and you did use my referral link previously, order your damn card and use it. It's just a prepaid debit card, and you get Bitcoin back for using it. I've already gotten a few $100 back, and I use it casually. I know several people that have gotten thousands of dollars in a year back, or thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin stacked up just by doing the regular purchasing. It doesn't cost them any extra. So check it out. It's worth it. And now's really the time to start thinking about that. Secure your finances. So anyway, try to plug that here. Where is... Oh, Rachel says, why worry about the Chinese spying when our government does it? That's my thoughts on the TikTok thing too, And honestly, the Chinese, if they want to spy on me, they made my damn phone. Tell me they can't have a back door into it. I'm not going to hide from Chinese hackers. Whoop-de-doo. I honestly have way less faith in our own government as far as spying on me. The Chinese don't give a shit what I do. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Brian Alexovitz over at the Lots Project. He has an ebook, a crypto ebook that tells you how to get started in crypto. And he walks you right through it. And it's like $5. So one moment, folks. Hold on. My little tickle in my throat. Apologies. Whew. The old pollen is flying down here. So after a bit, it does get into my throat. But check his shit out. You should check him out at the Lots Project. And if you're not aware, since he's recently been able to monetize his stuff on YouTube, he now has a subscription service going. So go and check out the Lots Project on YouTube. Not the Lotus Project. That's what comes up when you first type it in. But the Lots Project, LOTS. And that's my buddy Brian and his wife Corey. And they're 3 St. Bernards that are traveling the country and going to festivals, hanging out with cool people. They've been down here hanging out with me for about the last 4 months off and on. And awesome people. He does consultations. He helps people set up hip camps, helps them get going with cryptocurrency and all kinds of other stuff. And there's other stuff in the works, probably some more collaborative ventures that will include him and me and probably some other really cool creators. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to go hang out and have coffee with us in the morning like we do 5 days a week, check his show out. It's 6 a.m. Central Time. And if you are a member of his support group, of his support on YouTube, if you've got questions, ideas, things like that, your comments are going to be the ones that get priority because sometimes his chats are actually starting to get busy. So get in on the ground floor. It's worth it. He's my buddy and we talk all the time, but I still throw him a little bit to help support him because it's a good program that he's put together over there. So I really like that. And let's see here. Rachel says, give the weirdo some likes. I don't know if you mean Brian over at the Lots Project or me, but yeah, if you're following, be sure to hit like on the video. That always helps us out. Be sure to hit follow, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I do go live. It should be, unless something changes, and I will notify you, it should be 6 p.m. Central every Tuesday for the foreseeable future. All right, let's see here. What else? We got the Chinese don't care what you do, but if they can get all the kids to eat Tide Pods, yeah, I don't know, but the funny thing is, you go back and look at it, most of those stupid challenges like the Tide Pods and slap your teacher and shit like that, wow, I got blamed for it, but it started on Facebook. That's an American company run by Zuckerfuck or whoever the hell. They're all shit. There's dumb people all over, and the sad part about it is social media is still just a bunch of people in a group. So the idiots are there. I don't think the Chinese Communist Party is trying to get people to eat Tide Pods. Maybe the Tide Corporation was to increase sales. Who knows? Ryan, woo woo, yes. And he deserves that shout out. He has been working really hard on his social media programs. That has been his full-time job now that they're on the road. So be sure to support what he's doing. Keep those dogs fed. Both, yes. And let's see here. Yes, like all the weirdos. Yes, please like all the weirdos. We've got our own little weird tribe here. Bunch of crazy creators, but we're all like family. So be sure to check out all of our other shit here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up so I can get this audio uploaded here before it starts to get too dark. I don't want to have the cops come over and knock on the window again. The one nice thing about our crazy, stupid daylight savings time crap that we have to deal with is that this time of year, suddenly I'm not doing my podcast in the dark. Oh, the struggles that we have in the winter. So eventually, maybe one day, I'll be a big boy podcaster and be able to have a studio and do it from my house. But that's probably going to require me to actually set up something like Starlink to get internet there. And it ain't in the budget yet. So, hey, you know what? Keep your ear out for that seasoning of the month club. Let me know if there's something you need. Help me put it in the budget, if you know what I mean. Uh-huh. Oh Lordy. Oh, yep. No Karen. She said, I had a Karen one time stop by, but I had the cops stop by twice now while I've been doing podcasts. And both times they were very polite and understanding. They just let me know, hey, when you wrap it up, just be sure to move along. We close the park at dark. So they didn't even really hang out and mess with me. So then again, I know most of the cops around here. I process their deer. So that kind of helps a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe they watch the podcast. If you guys are on, if the cops are here, hey, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Just keep your hands on the steering wheel. I actually can't keep my hands on the steering wheel right now because I have one of those clip-on steering wheel desks that my laptop stays on. You guys are on the steering wheel. So, yep. Oh, whoa, I clicked on the wrong screen. And Rachel Brown says, yes, I finally got the cops thing. It's happened. It's happened a couple of times. But to be fair, it had been while I was in the park after dark, and there are signs posted that the park closes at dark. So university cops roll by just to check, knock on the window, make sure nobody's in here doing something crazy. There's no smuggling drugs and nookie going on or any of those evil anarchist type things. Oh, let's see here. Keep them above the belt. Yeah. I generally do. So, most of the time, at least while I'm on my podcast. So, and on the air. You never know. Other people's podcasts, it's free for all. All right, folks, I am going to go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. I appreciate y'all hanging out here with me for 45 minutes and bullshitting. Maybe next week you'll get a chance to do so on TikTok too, if you prefer to do that. This is the best place to hit all the comments up, though, because I get to see them right on the screen in front of me. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate all the audience interaction. We had a good crowd in here tonight. So take care. Hang in there. If there's anything that you are interested in or need, got any feedback, any thoughts, hit me up over there on Telegram, or you know how to get a hold of me. And we will catch y'all later. Keep on keeping on and be free.